Welcome to another episode of the Metal Roundup. We're catching up on the newest releases in the metal universe in this particular episode. It's been a couple of weeks since we've done one of these kind of episodes, and there's been some great songs released. Great and interesting. So looking forward to chatting through all of that. Before we do, while I have your attention here, before we get into all the juicy bits, subscribe if you haven't already. Not everyone subscribes to this thing that actually check this out. You might miss episodes if you don't subscribe, so think about that. And also support us on Patreon. Lots of good stuff there. Anyway, folks, it's been a busy week for music. How have you been coping?
Oh man, last week was like nonstop. Like I remember one day it was like 8:30 a.m. I was like working, and then I didn't finish till 8:30 p.m. Like a 12-hour day. Like I was like, of course, like I went out and like had breaks and stuff in between, like having food and stuff. But like it was a full 12-hour day of just like getting shit done.
Yeah, Thursdays have become pretty hectic as well. That seems to be a new thing that bands are doing. So it's like Thursdays and Fridays now are like, fuck, they're becoming heavier than Fridays for releases.
I know.
Which is cool. It's a great problem to have. But it's usually like you're kind of bracing for the Friday where you're like, okay, got to prioritize this one. I want to check this one out. And now it's like Thursday. There's like big releases happening. What? There's so much happening. So it's great. Not complaining.
As someone who likes to have their weekends too. Yeah, get that shit done for Friday. We're good. We're golden.
Yeah, true. Very good. Yeah, it's been great. It's been some fun albums. I've gone back and listened to the Don Broco album, which we can talk about at some point. I know you haven't heard it yet, Steve, I believe.
No, I haven't. I'm trying to catch that.
I am really excited to talk about.
What?
The Holywatr album. I also am excited to talk to Burb about it as well. I know, Steve, have you heard it yet?
I haven't. I've heard a couple of songs. My ratings for their songs have been all over the fucking shop.
Right.
And at the moment, I'm still not in.
Steve,
Okay.
I was the same before I checked out the album.
Maybe it needs an album listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you'll love it, but we can get into that maybe a little bit
Well, we
later
can
on.
get into that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. There was new Invent Animate. There was a new MGK song. There
I forgot about
was
that.
a new I Sealed Eyes track. There was a new Midwinter album. There was the Saosin track. I don't think we'd spoken about that one.
I think
No, is
Saosin
that-
is a good talking point for
Yeah.
sure.
I think that would be a
Periphery
good-
as well.
Periphery.
Karmanjakah.
Throne as well. They dropped an absolute fucking
Yes.
heater.
Korn? Korn is
Yeah.
back
Korn,
with a new song
Boundaries.
too.
Prince of Failure, the Dan topic, or the Dan side project that we'd spoken about with him when we had him on. Did you guys check it out?
I did, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun one as well. I thought a little bit different from what I'd be used to with Dan. Static
And
Dress.
Northlane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The fuck?
Yeah.
So, how do we begin? We're going to hit all of these.
Did we mention Karmanjakah as well? We did mention that, right?
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
briefly, yeah.
Where do we start?
What are we most excited to talk about out of all these releases? What band?
I think Karmanjakah is pretty
Wow, Steve, that's awesome.
good. Yeah.
I don't know,
Do we go back in terms of like chronological order? That's a pretty recent release. We could maybe start a little bit further back because I have a lot of things to talk about that I've caught up with. Like I was late to the Saosin party. I know that's an older release. Maybe we could start there if you gents are interested.
Go for it.
Yeah, so that was my first song that I'd heard by them, and it was fucking incredible. I loved it. That's one of those songs that I heard on first listen. I was like, yeah, this is really, really good. And then it just came on my playlist the other day, and I was like, this melody is great. And then I was like, oh, that's the Saosin track that we heard the other day. And yeah, I've been spinning it a lot, which is surprising. I didn't think that they would be a band that I've clicked with. I say band. I heard one of their older songs last night, and I didn't love it. But it's exciting to be getting into them now with a song that I really fucking enjoy, and maybe there'll be more songs like that on the album.
And as someone who doesn't like post-hardcore, maybe you're finally changing. You're finally getting it.
I think I
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. I think I just, you know, you just have like preconceptions of certain bands because you hear about, or maybe even people that you know that have a certain music taste are also like into another band, and you just assume by default that like because usually you don't really click with certain bands, other people like this band, and then you're like, oh, I'm not going to like it. But yeah, this one caught me off guard. It was really, really good. The mix was incredible. The melodies were so good. It was like a pretty like progressive song as well. There was so many fun little like, you know, stop and starts and switch ups in the song structures, and the riffs were really fun as well. It was a full package song. It was great.
Well balanced song. Interesting. I mean, it's maybe a hair longer than it maybe needed to be, but I think it was still great. It's kind of packed with interesting points. I've been a fan of Saosin since a very, very long time ago.
Yeah.
Like that album that had voices on it I rinsed that one back in, I would have been at university. And so I was excited because someone requested one of those songs of Drew last night on his stream. I was like, oh boy. But I think nostalgia makes that a little bit better, some of those songs. It was a little repetitive and wasn't that interesting. Yeah. But yeah, they've developed well over time. And actually there's other songs I think on the album that would hit more. Voices is a banger. And pre that album, a song called 7 Years is an exceptional classic sort of song.
Are these songs off the Beatle album, the self-titled? Yeah. I checked out that album because I never heard it.
You hadn't? Oh.
No, I know. I fucking love post-hardcore, like Thrice, right? Thursday, fucking The Fall of Troy. I can go on and on. But like, I never got into their music back in the day. I really like Anthony Green. So did you listen to the Anthony Green stuff back in the day too? When he was
so the song that would be before that album, right? 7 Years was a big hit from the previous vocalist.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the names of their vocalists.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a huge Anthony Green stan. So like when he left the band to form Circa Survive, I fucking love Circa Survive. And I think I think Drew would like a lot of Circa Survive music. It's more chill.
I've liked some of their stuff in the past. Yeah. I've heard some of their stuff.
They're more experimental.
There was a connection there though.
Yeah, he was the original vocalist, and actually there's an interview that I know of because they're like, how do you pronounce the band name? And Anthony Green says, it's Saosin. So in my video, I'm like, we're checking out Saosin. And all my comments were like, it's Saosin. I'm like, I thought I was cool by knowing the lore.
Yeah. You had like proper too niche information there that no one else even knew it.
Apparently he's saying it wrong. People are calling out Anthony Green like, it's supposed to be, it's like, it's Chinese or something. And apparently Anthony Green is actually pronouncing it wrong anyway.
Okay.
So I don't know, but
it doesn't matter.
It's unfortunate.
It doesn't matter. I checked out the Beatle album, and there is a lot of nostalgia in play. Like I couldn't even get into it. I'm like, yeah, I couldn't get into it back in the day, and like honestly, today I still couldn't. But I like the new song. Like I like it more than majority of like the first album. And I think that's the case with like Drew. Like if people show you like post-hardcore tracks, like if people show you Thrice stuff from like 2003. I wouldn't go that route. Like you have to work your way from like newer stuff on to backwards, I think.
Yeah. I listened to is it Black Honey? I was telling you about this in Discord by Thrice. I know you were saying that's their like Spirit Box Circle With Me song, but look, it's a gateway song into them. I haven't really enjoyed anything from them in the past, and this was the first one that I was like, okay, I could definitely listen to this again. So that's on my playlist. Fun track.
Sick. Yeah, I think that's a good beginning point. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be a post-hardcore fan in no time. But to be fair, last year I had my fair share of post-hardcore. I know the likes of Greyhaven and Callous Boys aren't necessarily like your run-of-the-mill post-hardcore music, but they have elements of it. So that was
Greyhaven. I would say Greyhaven for sure.
Yeah. So Greyhaven definitely, but they're like very riff-orientated. So that was right up my street. But I suppose there's a new Saosin track reminding me a little bit instrumentally of some of Greyhaven stuff. So. Yeah, maybe it's like the instrumentals that are somewhat tying it all in. I know it's quite riffy. So, So, I mean, look, don't write me out. Don't write me off. Post-hardcore fans too.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to think of what are the older releases as well, just so we can kind of keep it in somewhat of a chronological order.
Perhaps Periphery?
Yeah.
Sure. Another band with a long history.
Yeah. And I've only just started properly deep diving into them. I'd heard the first album many years ago, and now I've finally heard Periphery 2. Holy fuck.
Ooh.
That's an album.
Yeah.
That's a very, very incredible album.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that. And yeah, they had their first single this year was Mr. God, which is like a heavy, groovy banger sort of thing. This one, more of like a pensive rock ballad, but it had everything thrown in it from Periphery. It has heavy moments. It's got riffs. It's got solos. It's got some singing, some screaming, and some glorious drumming as be expected. So I enjoyed that whole thing. That was pretty lovely.
Yeah.
What do you think, Drew? Because like I know both of you guys were high on Mr. God, and I was kind of like the opposite.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I won't go back to it as much as I didn't go back to Mr. God as much, to be honest. Like it was in my liked track, so it did come on a couple times, and I was really enjoying it. But I'm not like actively seeking it out, which I think has become the theme with me in Periphery over the past couple of years. There's certain bands that I kind of discovered quite early in terms of when I was checking them out, and I think I rinsed them a little bit, and then my taste just kind of moved away from them slightly. And Periphery is one of those bands where I really liked them when I first started listening to them, and over the years I've just not even enjoyed them less. I just don't go back to them as much anymore. Yeah, the new song I didn't like as much as Mr. God, but I think it's good because it shows a little bit of variety. Because a lot of people were saying that like, oh, they're going to go down the baritone route now, where like everything's going to sound the same, and Mr. God's just going to be like, you know, your predecessor of what's to come, and it's just going to be a big genty album, and it's just going to be like kind of almost Meshuggah 2.0. Well, yeah, I think this song definitely showed a bit of variety, maybe a sign of what's to come on the album, which will be good. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's super catchy. That "Everyone Dies Alone" hook is getting like stuck in my head. But like, I thought it was a cool song. Again, it shows variety, but like, I don't know about you guys. Well, I guess if you like Mr. God too, like, but like for me, I feel like these two new singles are like, they're fine. There's nothing like overly crazy in Periphery's catalog. Like, Steve, you're checking out Periphery 2 and you're getting it. Like, what a sick record, right? And then, so these new songs, I'm like, they're both cool. I can't see myself going back to it and rinsing them that much.
They're not as progressive as past Periphery, perhaps? Is that the thing? Because, I mean, the problem is, in your head, you might be having a very immediate memory of Wildfire, which is a fucking wild fucking song. And it's going to be hard if you're ever comparing new Periphery to that. Like, how can they do an amazing surprise moment like that jazz breakdown that happened after? It's like, it's unlikely to happen.
I think you can really put like Wildfire into that conversation though, because I think when people think of like older Periphery, they're not going back to like P5. It's before that people are like comparing it to, you know.
I think it's because like I mentioned Wildfire last time we were talking about Periphery has like has a new single from the last album, and I remember just being like, this is so sick. But it wasn't even like the jazz section, which was honestly really cool. But like it was like the breakdown too just hit for me. I don't know. It could be because it's not as progressive, but at the same time, I like that if they're actually not writing a super progressive record, and if it's all just condensed songs, I'm like, hey, this is different for Periphery, so I'm stoked. But I don't know, just these two new singles, I'm like, they're cool. I don't know, nothing to go back to too much.
Wow.
Yeah.
See what happens from here, because they got an album planned this year, I believe.
Yeah, it's like next month.
That's it. That's soon. Damn.
Yeah.
Then around the same time, I think, was it Invent Animate dropped their new song?
Same day, yeah. Same day. That was an interesting one.
Fall Like Rain.
Yep. I've enjoyed that one. I've gone back to it quite a lot. It's interesting to see what they do next. I got the impression from like an Instagram post from Keaton, the guitarist, but I think this song might be a standalone or like a one-off thing. He didn't like specifically say that in his post, but he basically said that this song was heavily inspired by Viljarta and that like world of like Thal music. So he was like, who better than to have Buster out of home try his hand at mixing this? So he specifically said like this. So if that song is what he's referring to solely, then that would almost imply that get Buster to do this. Because I can't imagine them using two different mix engineers for a project, you know? It would be like Buster for an entire album, and this is the first single. So the way he kind of implied it, it sounded like this is a one-off single. They were really inspired by Viljarta, so get Buster to help out with the mix, because, you know, his ties to Viljarta and Humanity's Last Breath. So I got that impression. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes. But I thought the song was good.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking dark and heavy. There was a glimmer of a melody right at the start, and then that was it. It was just, I described it as I was in like a sonic tornado for most of that thing, and it had moments where it would kind of straighten out. You're like, oh, here we are, and then we get busy and like, oh fucking hell.
Yeah,
a little bit on the darker, heavier end than I would choose to spend a lot of time in, but it was fun. It was a really fun ride. It was pretty well balanced.
Yeah, I think the chorus is actually quite catchy. Well, it is a big anthem. I wasn't born to, what does he say? I wasn't born to be afraid. That like I wasn't born. Like that is starting to get stuck in my head a little bit. Oh, yeah? There is a decent melody in it. I know it's not your traditional like sing along melody that Marcus would do, but it is kind of similar to the Throne song, which we can get into as well. That's like really fucking catchy in how heavy it is, just the repetition of it. So yeah,
I just know that riff is getting stuck in my head from the chorus, which is like the same note just getting kind of bent, right? So fall like, dude, maybe like I was shocked by how much I like the new Invent Animate. Like when they do a pure heavy track like Immolation of Night, I remember at the time of that release, I'm like, oh, this is cool. But it was until I heard Heavener in full, I'm like, okay, I like this song a lot more. But as a single, I don't know, them working with Buster, I think is awesome. And I know they get a lot of I know Buster gets like a lot of flack for having like a similar kind of sound when he works with bands, but I don't know, with Invent Animate, it worked. And I thought Marcus's vocal pitch just, I don't know, there's something about it that just felt a little stronger for me. I don't know if it was his mixing or him just improving. I felt like his screams felt like a little bit more, they had a bit more beef, right? And like one thing about the song that I find shocking, which makes me really like, is like there's a lot of zeros. Invent Animate's a pretty technical riffy band, but the song is majority just a bunch of zeros. But I don't know, I thought it was fucking cool. Like it's such a, it locked me in. I think I got to listen to that song in the gym, and I know I'm going to like it even more.
Yeah, it's exciting because Heavener was a momentous album, and you'd want, you could understand wanting to make a Heavener 2.0, and who knows, maybe they kind of will. But it was interesting. It felt like a stepping stone into something new, where it started with a bit of that Heavener sound, and then it just smacks you with a fucking baseball bat for the rest of it.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting because I actually don't really like the idea of Buster being involved in Invent Animate's mixes. I think it worked for this track, and I was excited when I seen that it seems implied that he's not doing everything. It's like this was kind of like a once-off track to get them back going again. But I just think that there's just so many bands that, I said it in my video, that I have this like mental block of associating Invent Animate with someone like Buster. Their like sound is so airy and spacey, and I guess, Viljarta and Buster and bands that he's worked with definitely have those like atmospheric layers where there's a lot of space involved, but I just don't, their sound to me just, it shouldn't be one of those sounds that goes together. Kind of how I felt with like Silent Planet as well. But even just that, regardless of how I feel about the sound, it's just like Silent Planet and Invent Animate both using the same mixing engineer, because it's such an obvious sound that it's Buster. Like as soon as I heard the fucking drums coming in, you just instantly, you're like, it's Buster out home. So it just makes them less unique instantly because their mix is the same. So I hope that they don't use him going forward, because the Heavener mix was fucking great as well. Like there was no one I never heard any complaints about the Heavener mix. So unless there's some clashes there with whoever mixed, I think it was Dan Bronstein who did that mix on Heavener, which ironically is actually who was also doing Silent Planets as well.
Yeah, he does a lot of shit.
Yeah. But interesting, because Dan Bronstein fucking killed Heavener, and then for them to switch to Buster is interesting, but we'll see what they do going forward.
Yeah, it's weird because like usually I do have this take with Buster working with bands, but for Invent Animate, I'm kind of stoked. But like I'm also like, if it sounds too much like VLGR to like start to finish or something, then I'll be like, oh, that sucks. But like, I don't know, I felt like the Buster mix on this single wasn't so apparent, like it's Buster doing this. I felt like if I didn't know that knowledge going into the song, I probably would have been like, is this Buster? Like I wouldn't be 100% sure.
Yeah. It's hard to know, because when you do go into it knowing, you're like instantly looking out for it. But at the same time, yeah, Buster's fucking killing it, man. He's doing everything right now.
Yeah.
Busy guy. Busy guy.
Bring me soon too.
Yeah. There's news I want to talk about right now, but I think we'll maybe save it till later. I don't even know if you guys have seen the very breaking news.
Oh yeah. I was going to bring it up at the beginning of this pod when we were talking about things to talk about.
Don't know if I know.
Yeah, Steve maybe doesn't know, so we'll maybe hold off until later for other releases, because it's kind of speculation right now, but it's also pretty locked in.
I think we should talk about it too.
Right now, or we just drop it in here?
Yeah,
we could tease it, and people have to wait till the end.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Will you remember?
That was smart, Steve. Good job.
Yeah. I'm getting scrambled because there's so many fucking songs to talk about. I'm like, where do we go?
How about Karmanjakah? Because like there was a proggy day on Thursday. Invent Animate, Periphery, and Karmanjakah all on that same day.
Same day.
Yeah, like I fucking love the band. I love every new single. I've been on them for a while, but like I want to hear Steve's thoughts, because like you're like getting on board now.
Yeah, so as a reminder, I heard like Breathing and Listening by them a couple of years ago, and I thought they were really pretty. I liked them, pretty delicious songs. And I heard Dove of the new single stream, and I was like, yeah, that's good. I liked it. I ultimately gave it to Delicious, but I was like, I don't think I'm going to go back to this one as much. And then Eyes Seeing Eyes happened. I was like, that is gorgeous. That's a phenomenal song. And I thought that was a masterpiece. And I was going into this one, Son Astray, being like, well, they're not going to all be that good.
Yeah.
And I preferred it to Eyes Seeing Eyes. I thought it was fucking gorgeous. And Yeah, I almost had no words at the end of it. It was a wonderful sonic experience from start to finish. And when it starts, I'm just like, this isn't really my wheelhouse. But it just kind of draws you in. It's like, all right, just give us time here. Beautiful. Really enjoyed it. So much so, I'm like, right, they're playing London later on this year in October, along with Earthside and Viljarta and Humanity's Last Breath. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to have to go.
Wow.
I have to go.
Yeah, that's such an insane
God
lineup.
damn.
What'd you think of the video?
I liked it. It was like a visualizer, essentially. Just a person in the hell doing some dancing thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
I really like the video for some reason. I think it's just so visually nice and simplistic.
Yeah. Something about like contemporary dancing that just doesn't do it for me a lot of the time. But
That's
the
true.
visuals were very pleasing. Like it was a very satisfying frame.
Yeah. For people that don't know what it looks like, it's basically just a slanted hill, but with like pink clouds in the background, like a sunset or sunrise. And it's just, I don't know, it's just super pretty, but then there is some interpretive dancing. I like it. I like the whole nostalgic look that they go for. Everything looks like it was recorded or through a VHS or something.
Yeah, I think it literally was like recorded through a VHS. I've seen some behind the scenes footage and they're literally using like one of these really old cameras to record a lot of it, which is cool.
That's
so
sweet.
It's not like a filter or like an edit that they're doing. They're actually, that's the raw footage, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Nice details.
What'd you think of the song though, Drew?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's hard to not be impressed by Karmanjakah. They make really beautiful music. I said it in my video. I haven't put my video out yet, so I kind of need to listen to it a couple more times because usually that's when it will start to really land for me. It was the same for Eyes Seeing Eyes, which is my favorite song from the 3 singles so far. That one like really started to land for me because I wasn't really going to do a video on it because I just didn't really feel like I enjoyed the song that much. But then I was editing it, and when the like crescendo at the end of that song comes in, where the like bendy riff just continuously takes the song out, that's insane. So the new song was solid. I would put it in the same category as like Dove for me, where I don't see myself going back to it as much. But my main like takeaway at the end of the video was that I kind of feel like I'm doing this band a disservice by listening to them in single format. I feel like their style just lends itself so much to like sitting down for 45 minutes to an hour and just like bathing in their sound. It's like Steve mentioned with the singles, they kind of like goad you in a little bit. You have to, like at the start I was kind of like, yeah, but then they just land something like a big crescendo at the end that all of the building now starts to make sense. So when that doesn't land massively on a first listen, it feels like the song isn't very impactful at all. Like for you, Steve, you were saying you didn't enjoy the first part, or you weren't as into the first part of the song. You were like, I don't know if this is going to be for me, but then eventually it just starts to make sense.
Yeah.
If that moment doesn't come where it makes sense, it does feel really underwhelming as opposed to like maybe something else. Yeah. So I think album wise, I think they'll make a really like nicely flowing album and everything will make sense. So I think I think that will be where I really get into it. But
I could follow that logic, but my concern is like after 20 minutes of that kind of slowy, sometimes blasphemy sound, am I going to get a bit bored with it? Is my concern. I don't know. I've not done an album by them as yet, but I wonder. I think it'll be an incredible album to have on in the background while you're having like a nice cold beer on the sunny day. Or something. It'd be incredible, but I don't know about an active listening experience. But we'll see. We'll fucking check it out when it's out.
I think the ending to Eyes Seeing Eyes on Spotify has like a longer extension to the song. I'm trying to remember. I could be wrong, but basically I do know that there are smooth transitions between each tracks. And I do like for that the single rollout because like they are an album band and I think they have mentioned that before, but like I do like that the singles are all like the first couple tracks of the album. Like they dropped the first single, the second song was Eyes Seeing Eyes, the third song is Sun Straight. So they're releasing it in chronological order. So I think that's cool. It makes it you can get the flow.
Yeah. Well, in that case, then we should, like from what you're saying, we should already know then that it does flow.
Yep.
Like one continuous song. Yeah, that would make sense.
You're right. There is a sort of after the outro thing in one of those songs, the most recent one perhaps, where it's like an extra ambient moment.
Yeah.
On Spotify.
Yeah. I actually really like that as well. That's a fun topic of conversation to have with the songs that have been released as singles being the first songs on the album. I actually quite like that because it's like a reminder of like what we've heard so far, and then it's all new from there, as opposed to like, you know, one new song, then maybe a single we've heard, then another new song, and then a single, and it just, you're like in and out of Like it can work both ways, but I do really like the idea. I know Sleep Token did it with Taking Back to Eden, where it was like first 6 songs, you're like, holy shit, these songs were all their own individual moments, and then you get a whole like new, fresh experience for the last 6. I think it's cool.
Yeah, they kind of fucked up that release schedule when they released "Do You Wish That You Loved Me." It's like, here's the first 5 songs, and
is that because they released it at all, Burp?
And also like the song was like,
ooh,
yeah. Then they released like track 8. I'm like, oh,
okay.
Yeah. Sundowning was where like they released every song chronological, but that was for like the entire album.
Yeah,
I don't remember that. Okay, cool. All right, that is strange. Yeah. So what that album drops in 10 days, May 8th, Karmanjakah. So we'll know by then.
Yeah.
Sick.
Nice.
You guys want to talk about your MGK?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got a ban on MGK on the channel from your previous encounters with him? Or?
Oh yeah, I know. Dude still hates me. I have no idea. I haven't listened to it though, but you guys are
okay.
By all means, chime in.
Yeah, not much to add. It was a fun song, I thought. A little bit questionable lyrically in moments. For anyone who hasn't heard the song, verbatim, he said, oh fuck, what did he say? I'm all over your ass like cum drying is actually bars that he said in that song, which was
something like that.
No, that was verbatim. I'm all over your ass like cum drying. I didn't even cop it in the moment until after I was editing, and I was like, whoa, that's a crazy thing to say. So
it was pretty wild.
His fans will definitely get that tattooed. Okay.
Yeah, on their ass.
Yeah, right on their ass.
That was a fun song. I didn't really know what to expect, but I think, yeah, to your point, Steve, that you made in your video, like Fred Durst not getting his own standalone feature seemed like a missed opportunity. But I thought his additions to the song actually kind of made it more than just like quite a monotone new metal song that we've heard a million times before. Having Fred Durst in there kind of brought it to life, especially in the chorus, because the chorus is a little bit flat or something, and then he just adds a little bit of spice into it, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, he made it jauntier than it otherwise might have been, I think.
Yeah.
I also thought it seemed like a missed opportunity to have more Limp Bizkit involved, because they have a very Limp Bizkit-y drum beat, a very Limp Bizkit-y guitar sound. But it sounds like we've got Limp Bizkit at home. Like if you had Wes Borland doing that guitar riff, it would have been fucking great. Or if he had written his own, for example. It's like they've kind of mirrored the instrumentals for Nookie by Limp Bizkit a little bit and went, oh fuck, this is kind of sounds like Limp Bizkit. Let's get Fred on it. And that's kind of seems like how it came about. But it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm not like an MGK fan particularly. I haven't loved what I've heard of his music thus far. But I thought he did a great job in this. I mean, come lyrics aside, I thought flowed pretty well. I liked the sound of his voice. I liked the chorus. It was kind of like chilled but rolled. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. That was it's a casual sort of banger of a track. Good job. Yeah, it's hard to know with certain releases from certain artists because there's so much noise around them before the song's even out. People have just like made their mind up that it's the worst song ever. And I feel like that's definitely the case with MGK, where like I was like, this song is fun. It's not groundbreaking by any stretch, but instantly I heard the worst song ever made. It just isn't. No. It's just not. It's because he has like a reputation. But I think he plays into it pretty well. Like he's clearly very fucking successful. I mean, he had one line in there which makes you go, fucking what? He said something like, rock's not going to die as long as I'm alive. Yeah, all right. And it's like, you're not fucking it for rock music. Yeah, you don't. He also just doesn't. He's playing into it. He's definitely playing into it. The stuff that I've heard, like he did a song with "Bring Me Right" and stuff. I'm like, this is catchy. It's something I'd go back to. And I think it's like the Goldfinger producer. I forget his name. The guy from Goldfinger. John Fieldman. Yeah, he has like such a popular pop rock pop punk sound that all of his like projects kind of sound a little bit similar. So I'm like, oh yeah, this just sounds like one of his like kind of songs. Like sure, it's MGK singing it, but this sounds like one of his songs, you know? Yeah, no, it's good. It's a genuine one of my favorite songs of the year. That was great. Yeah, enjoyable for sure. Number 37 in my current song of the year list. I love how you actually have it. That's so impressive that you. How the fuck else are you gonna do it? In December? What do I listen to this year? That's exactly what I do. I like songs, like I just add them to my liked track. So at the end of the year, I just go back and I slot them into a playlist in order of where I'm like, it's better than this one, not as good as this one. It goes in there, and it moves throughout the year, but then I've got it all. Yeah. Speaking of end of year lists, my album of the year list may have shuffled around slightly very recently with a particular album, which I was beyond
shocked by, because I just slept on this project. I've been hearing a lot about it, but I'm like, I'm not gonna like this. It's not my thing. But the new Don Broco album may have just shuffled up to my album of the year slot. It's between that and Carnival's In Verses. But this album, I was just so shocked by it. I think maybe it's the expectations versus what actually happened is a lot to do with it. But like, almost objectively, it's so fucking consistent from start to finish. The last song let me down a little bit. It's not a bad song at all, but literally when I'm going through the album, I like all the songs that I'm enjoying or whatever. And I'm like, I'll go back to that. And it was like 10 of 10. And then the last song, I was like, oh my God, they're actually going to clean sweep this. And I was praying for them to do it. I really wanted it, but I couldn't justify the last song, which was annoying. But yeah, I was.
What
really,
have you heard
really
of them
surprised.
before this?
Very
era?
little. Like, I'd heard Cellophane as a single from this album,
Banger.
and then I'd heard the Nickelback track, and that was it. And then other songs from them, I'd heard like the Uber song, which I kind of joked about before, the kind of weird one. But this just fucking hit. I think it was just like really, really unique. Loads of experimental like twists and turns and genre blending and amazing melodies. Like the songs, one of the songs that Pacify Me, the melody, and that like real kind of dark and sexy. I really enjoyed that. But like throughout the entire thing, I thought the Sam Carter feature was really cool to hear Sam like in his like old school Architects bag. It was like actually aggressive, and not just his delivery, but just like having something like topical to say that was like, oh, this is actually like an on the nose, you know, subject matter that he's screaming about here. And it felt more authentic and like true to Sam's older stuff, I guess, and Architect's older stuff. So cool. It was really fucking cool. The Nickelback song hit even 10 times harder in the context of the album. So they were just, I couldn't believe it. I was really, really shocked by how much I enjoyed it. And I now have the task of like weighing up the emotional connection that I have to In Verses, which is obviously a very subjective thing and hard thing to look by. But then also just like the quality of the songs and how consistent the Don Broco album is. Because I think it's like a more consistent album from start to finish, as in like just song after song is a banger. But Carnival's In Verses is like an emotional like masterpiece to me. So I'm like, it's going to be.
You got a few months.
I got a few months. Yeah. Hopefully something else just comes in and clean sweeps the both of them. So I don't have to worry
Makes
about
life
it.
easy.
Yeah. But we'll see.
I think going into it with like minimum expectations definitely help, but at the same time, like Don Broco has mentioned that this is like their best work. They're like so proud of it, and you can tell like the songs fucking bang. There's so much attention to detail. It's so creative. There's so many clever hooks, and like then they mix like some metalcore with like pop rock, and then goes like weird, like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like I'm too sexy for my shirts. They kind of like mix that stuff in there. Like it's so weird and like.
Steve, you're gonna fucking love it. The album's designed for you.
Wait, you haven't heard it?
I couldn't believe Steve hadn't heard it. Like,
what?
That is,
I thought you were like on it right away.
Steve. Like,
because I think I heard Cellophane, and I was like, I've been sleeping on this band. They're much better than I thought they were. So I was like, right, I gotta fucking do the discography. So I've gone back to check out their first album, their second album, their third album. I got one left to go, which is called Amazing Things, and so I want to have that in my head before I go into the full thing. So hopefully the next week or two, I'll get to both of those remaining albums.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm
excited about it though, because I'm really enjoying it. They are kind of experimental over the course of their albums. Like they do some wild shit. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it does. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, they do have a goofy approach, like Burb was saying. They'll just do like, I'm too sexy. There was like a moment where he's like, I'm just a guy with a mic. Don't listen to me. Or it was just like, what are we doing?
Even the Nickelback feature, dude. Having Chad Kroeger just go like, whoa. It's so weird and lame, but like also really cool.
Yeah, it works. I didn't know they were from the UK as well. I thought they were Australian. Their music has Australia written all over them. It's like super weird and Australian. And I'm like, wait, they're from the UK? That's crazy.
No. And even like from their last album, they have a song called Bruce Willis. And it's like their music video just has a whole bunch of Bruce Willis like montages.
Right. Yeah, they have some fun with it. And it's part of the... Apparently they're fucking amazing live as well.
I believe it.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a conversation in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, Steve, where you're going to be talking about this being your album of the year. Genuinely, I can't see a world.
I mean, I need that expectation to go down. Otherwise, I'll be like, well, it was good, but I thought it might...
But I just think like all the melodies are just like tailor-made for the kind of music that you like, and it's
I am shocked that he hasn't heard it yet, but that makes sense. He's going through the discography.
I'm exercising patience. It's difficult, but I have a lot of stuff to get to. Man. I've
hyped it up a lot here, like but we'll see. I genuinely think even with that hype behind it, it's just you'll still love it.
Well, here's another album that we can talk about a little bit that Steve hasn't heard yet, but my expectations were the same. I went into it thinking this was going to be all right because some of the songs I've heard have been cool. But then I checked out the album like, this is fucking awesome, actually. I really like this. And that's Holywatr with Dio Gratias. Like, because like I think they're like known to be a sexy metal cum metal band, right? And I'm just like, okay, it's just going to be like Bad Omens core, right? Like I thought it was just going to be like that. And then I listened to him like, holy shit, this guitar solo fucking rips. Oh man, this part's like actually like eerie and cool. And oh, this part's super catchy. Like it's way more than that. Like it honestly is bridges a line of metalcore and a lot of post-hardcore. Yeah. It's a really sick record with a lot of variety too. So I was very, very impressed by that album.
I hear good songwriting in what I've heard. I think my problem thus far has largely been in execution. I think there's a fine bit of like tuning on the vocals, which I'm not feeling. And there's other moments where it sounds, for me, maybe it's slightly too derivative of Sleep Token moments. So I'm just I haven't found my way in yet. There's a couple things there that make me go, So maybe I have to hear the album at some point. But so far I've rated 4 of their songs. Delicious, not for me, halfway decent, and solid. So it's a complete fucking shit show of variety.
It's funny, when I did my album reaction too, like I didn't mention Sleep Token once, which actually kind of blew my mind that I didn't reference them. But like it's because I'm like, this sounds like Chiodos. Like, did you ever listen to Chiodos back in the day, Steve?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. You won't get the reference. But anyway, it's got like that almost like Tim Burton romantic size. Like, okay, think of Panic at the Disco with like breakdowns or something. That could be Chiodos a little bit in a way. Okay. But like this band doesn't sound like Panic at the Disco, so that's kind of a bad explanation. Anyway, take it over. Yeah, take it over, Drew. I like Panic at the Disco. If you don't get the references, then whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the exact same. I'd heard like 1 or 2 songs from them before on Twitch streams, but it obviously didn't impact me enough to remember. But this one I'd heard Pure Leaf, which I think it's one of the singles that they released. But I heard Pure Leaf, and I was, again, like you were, but I kind of had this expectation because they're like really popular on TikTok and that kind of like crossover between your Sleep Tokens and Bad Omens. I had this preconception that it was going to be like very basic like pop structures songs, and the song opens up with like this big genty Periphery-esque and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I know, I thought they'd be like using 8-string guitars and it would be real like low and heavy. Same. Where it was very genty, and you could tell like it was a lot of like Avenged Sevenfold sounding like lead guitar moments and guitar riffs, and I was like, what the like in my head it was like Periphery for like rhythm guitar, lead guitar was like Avenged Sevenfold, and then the like production elements and everything was quite Sleep Token-esque in that realm, like that kind of like you can hear the maybe influence of Sleep Token, but that's where the influence dies. It doesn't feel on the nose where it's like, oh, this is just in the context of the album. Maybe certain singles are like, okay, yeah, maybe Sleep Token, but it was a fucking wild blend. I thought it was really, really good. The melodies were fun. The guitar riffs were really, really surprising. The song structures are great. Yeah, there is like vocal tuning in moments, but I don't know, something about it just felt authentic and worked.
The thing is, this dude can fucking sing though, like live.
Yeah,
so that makes it even more annoying.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
because as an example, Periphery, I would say live, the vocals not completely stunning, but the complete lack of tuning going on Spencer's vocals in Periphery 2 is insane to think about because his vocals on that record are unbelievable.
Huge improvement over Periphery 1 too.
Lock in and record in a studio and you know, I think just I don't know. Could have a whole rant about tuning.
Well, just add it to the list and come back to us after you heard it and be like, the
I've added it to my list.
Still annoys me.
I don't know what
I think it'll be low, delicious, high, solid for you. Like, it's just I get that impression.
It's not going to win album of the year. Just like keep those expectations there, but like it is better than I expected.
Yeah. So basically, we've teed you up to actually enjoy the Holywatr album more, and you're going to hate Don Broco's album. That's just how it's going to work.
Yeah, I know.
We've set the bar way too high for Don Broco and way too low for Holywatr.
So. Well, if I might transition into something that I was expecting to enjoy more than I did, and not expecting Burb to enjoy as much as he did, although I haven't seen your video, but I've seen the thumbnail and title alone. The latest song from Korn, sir, I thought was pretty mid.
The thing is, I actually don't really listen to a lot of Korn. Like, I listened to their first album, and then I also saw them live. I'm like, this band is straight up not for me. Like, you know how I say, like, you can't write a band off until you've heard at least one album or you've seen them live? I've done both of those things. I'm like, yep, Korn is not for me. I'm not a big new metal person. Heard that song, I'm like, dude, there's a lot of goes. It's got that classic like bass verse with like the harmonics too, and like I don't know, I thought it was fun. Like I think it's like cheesy fun. Like I don't go into Korn thinking it's going to be like this like artistic masterpiece or anything, but like it's just I know, but like I just thought it was like a cheesy fun song that had a good bridge, a good chorus. I'm like, I can like have a few beers, get drunk to this, and have a good time with it.
So it's only good if you're drunk. Sure, that's a great song.
Yeah, it's a good drinking song, man.
The comparison I'm drawing here is like, you've not listened to a ton of Korn, you kind of liked this, and I'm like, dude, this is like, in terms of Korn's abilities, this is so base level. Drew enjoying some Limp Bizkit song from last year, Morgan Wallen, whatever it was. I'm like, oh, it's really good. It's because you haven't heard so much of Limp Bizkit. They've done incredible things, and that song is so basic level of Limp Bizkit. Like, I'm like, there's so much better stuff there. These are fine. I think I gave Korn halfway decent. I was like, and I still love Korn. One of my favorite bands, but it's like, this song is pretty average.
Dude, you're sounding like me now. I feel like you just want to say a little generic.
You sound like our Unks days. The older songs are better.
I know, right?
I don't even necessarily think that, because they had a single like 2 years ago called Cold, which fucking slaps. A really good song. So I just in there. I just thought it was, the mix was weird. It sounded awkward. Others like,
This is Korn or Limp Bizkit? I've lost which ones we're talking about.
Korn.
Right, okay.
I said in my review, like, take my opinion with a grain of salt as someone who doesn't really listen to a lot of Korn, but I thought this was awesome.
Yeah, because your expectation was sub
that. Yeah, that's another thing. Your expectations are just like, this is going to be like, sure. Like I know people want to hear this like review, but like I'm like, this was actually pretty fun, man.
It genuinely can just come down to what kind of mood you're in on the day as well. Like sometimes I sit down and I'm just not arsed, and I'm like, there's new music out, and then it might spring me around, and all of a sudden I'm in the greatest mood ever after listening to it. But then some days I'm hyper ready for it. I'm like, let's fucking go, and it just brings you up another 10%, and it's the greatest. So it can just depend on what kind of sleep you've gotten the night before.
It's actually very true.
It's literally just as simple as that sometimes. But yeah, even like speaking about Limp Bizkit earlier, again, and me like being like, Fred, I think I just need to listen to more Limp Bizkit, because I loved their last song, and the feature with MGK was just like, he's not featured much, but something about his delivery, it's cool. There's a lot of character in it, and it's
you need to hear the album Significant Other.
I thought it was this Chocolate Starfish. Is that not their big one?
That's their big one. Significant Other was their breakthrough.
Right.
And then Chocolate Starfish happened, and that's a fucking brilliant album as well. Those two albums, if you listen to nothing else.
I think it's about time I did some homework, because I haven't had any homework lessons in this podcast for albums. So what? So Significant Other is starting point.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know,
like discographies.
Are you guys going to do the album challenge like Steve and I did? Like you two, like do you have to listen to an album?
Give me one.
And then
shit! I didn't come prepared for this one. I can think of it, and I can send you one. I don't want to give you extra work here, Steve. You know.
Holywatr, that's my one.
Yeah. Look, I'll be happy if you just check out the Holywatr album, the Don Broco album. I'll be happy with that. But I'll listen to Limp Bizkit. I think.
Yeah.
I owe them, especially with Download. It makes sense to understand more of the discography. I need to. You need to
do Significant Other and Chocolate Starfish. I think do it in that order, even though Significant Other is probably it's not gonna have modern level production on it, but I think the songs are fun and groovy and interesting and whimsical enough that
yeah, I've heard enough of Fred Durst to know that like there's no one that sounds like him, so it will be just intrinsically interesting.
I will say I like Significant Other more than the self-titled Korn album when I check those albums out.
Yeah, that makes sense, I think. Self-titled Korn is rough and ready. It's dark and weird. Significant Other is like... It's
bouncy and new metal, interesting.
Nailed.
Okay. New Throne song was fucking awesome. I've played that about 8,000 times already. That might be my most listened to song of the year, just because it's so loopable in the gym. Just like repeat. I love it. Thoughts?
Haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, it's not like a groundbreaking song at all. It's a Throne song.
But it's Throne. Like they give you what you want from them, and they add a little bit of sprinkle of something else.
Yeah, but it's my favorite song by them by far. It's fucking
really.
Yeah. I just went in like, it's a Throne song. I'll listen to it like maybe another gym song, but it's like the Invent song. There's a bit of like dark melody in there. It's like it's not your stereotypical melody. He's just screaming it at you, but it's just really like anthemic to sing along to. Yeah.
It's not. I would temper your expectation a little bit, Burb. I wouldn't. For me personally, it's not my favorite song by Throne.
It's a
Throne song. That's what I get. It's just like it is a good Throne song.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but if a song is not on your radar for a band that maybe you're kind of like have moderate thoughts about, like, do you wait for the community and if like they send you the song or not? Like, but the fact that when I go on stream and no one has requested Throne, in my view, it's like, oh, it's because the Throne song is average. But
there's a lot of songs that fall through the cracks,
and
then you're like, thing, right? I'm like, why was no one sending me this? So like, it can't be. I can't trust it too much.
But that's why I was like with the Throne song, I'm like, oh, no one's like requesting this either. So I'm like, okay, I'm probably good to skip this song.
It's like a Snickers bar. It's a nice snack. I don't think there's enough depth to someone's like, let me make sure I see what Burb thinks of this. It's like, it's a nice snack.
It's a Throne packaged snack. Like, it's a Throne song. Like, but it's just it just hit. I don't know. The video helped as well. The video's really cool and like syncs up. It was quite clever the way they did it. But yeah, it's just like the same repeated, like split my head in two, but it's just the way they flow on it is great. I think it's fucking sick.
Wow.
Drew's just a basic gym rat, so that's why he.
Burb, it's a gym. So trust me in this. It's a fucking great gym song.
Dude,
my gym playlist is just fucking Buster out of home. He's just perfect for the gym. It's just so heavy.
He's good for it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's good though.
You want less Buster at the same time. You're just listening to only
Buster. At the same time, that's all I fucking listen to. That's why I want less, because I'm like, stop making fucking music. Yeah. But he just kind of mastered the fucking art of heavy music. So yeah.
Talking about heavy music, should we talk about Boundaries?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. Fucking weirdos. What a weird band.
Why so weird, Drew? I need to know your thoughts on it.
It's just so fucked up. Like, it just progressively got more mental. And they're already like, they've set the bar pretty high for how mental they can be, and this song was just like, what is going on right now?
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's borderline unlistenable, but I love it. Like, you know, there's genuine moments in it where it's like, this is just fucking noise, but it's like, it's just the vocals just bring it back in where you're like, oh yeah, like it's just so visceral.
Vocals.
Really?
I hate them.
Wow.
I don't like that.
It's a gym thing. They're just like perfect for
nothing. I've got nothing here. Mate.
I know.
That's why I don't like it.
But even that, I don't know. You've said this before, Steve, that you don't want that like level of like evil in your life, essentially, which I understand.
It depends, because like Showing Teeth have that, where it's just fucking aggressive vocals. There's something about the frequency, but then I had the same issue with Knocked Loose. I didn't like Brian's vocals at all until recently. So maybe, and I made this point, my review is not going to go on YouTube. I didn't think it was interesting enough, but
that's
it's going to go on
Patreon. I want to see. Send me that.
I'll send it to you. But it maybe over time I'll learn to enjoy that vocal sound, but currently it's not in the wheelhouse of what I'm enjoying a lot of listens to. So then I do appreciate having some singing moments in the chorus, because then that kind of balances it out. But also that there's something sterile about the vocals in the chorus, I thought. And the snare sound was kind of like, it was almost nothing. It was really weird. I didn't love it.
They can't catch a break with the mixing conversation. People, they've gone back to, I think, someone else, and people are still complaining. It's kind of hilarious.
I think people are complaining about the new single?
Because their last album is a different guy. They're not using him anymore. So they went to Drew Folk for the first mix on the first song, which we had the conversation about. Then they swapped it back, like you mentioned. And now I think they have a new mix again, and people are still like just not happy with it. So,
oh my god,
yeah, I can kind of see the argument, because the songs are really fun, but there's just like a weight to it that just is kind of adding a fuzz, and it just in certain sound systems it sounds all right. Then I'll like listen to my car or something. I'm like, this is just fucking mental. Like, I can't hear anything. So, yeah, I see the argument, but it's not enough for me to be like, oh, I can't listen to New Boundaries. Just depends.
The first mix from the first single I thought was like fine until people said like, or until they put out the second mix. I'm like, oh wait, this is so much better. I get it. But at the same time, let the band write whatever, or like feel or put out whatever they are comfortable with, right? And that's the way that should be taken at certain points. But dude, this new song, I fucking love Matt's vocals. Like, there's someone in my chat just like, I can't stand the vocal. The vomit sounding vocal. Was it me? I know. I'm like, this is joking. Because when he does screams, he's like on the verge of like almost like throwing up. It sounds like, but I fucking love his delivery. It's like the most animalistic, so
he sounds like
fucking
he's
primal sounding. Like, Oh, he's one of my favorite vocal deliveries, but it could be exposure therapy for you, see, where after some time you just kind of grow to like it. Because like,
Maybe.
why I was wondering, Drew, if you were going to like it, because it gets into that chorus, the chorus with the sing, and I'm just like, I'm like, oh man, Drew's not going to like this. But like, I actually didn't really care for that part. Like, you know what? I thought this was like a solid boundary song for like the first 2 minutes. Even like, okay, second verse in the music video, they get into that car crash and then it totally switches up the rhythm. I'm like, okay, this is like kind of like similar to other boundary stuff. Like the whole song I thought was like fine, but it was that ending breakdown. That ending breakdown just like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening? Like, this is so cool. That was, and then that sold the song for me. But honestly, I actually thought the first 2 minutes was like a fine boundary song until that breakdown at the end.
Yeah. The little like dead note scratch sound they have in the breakdown, their groove. Because it's like, I enjoy those songs that like send you into a spiral for like a minute or two. And then they just land on a like 4/4 groove or something that's just like easily recognizable because you're like absolutely spiraling out of control. What the fuck am I listening to? It sounds chaotic. I don't know if I like this. And then there'll be like, there was just that like, there was this sample that like the whisper sample, and then the fuck you call out or whatever it was, and then just into that disgusting groove with the little like dead note in it. Oh my God, it was just so sick. But yeah, the song
the ending a lot.
Is fucking mental. It's a lot, but I think it'll work in album context.
Isn't that so satisfying though? I think you just kind of nailed the point of these breakdowns that I like. Is like, it's pure chaos for the first little bit. You don't know what the hell's going on. You're just like, what the fuck? And then it brings you into a groove and you're like, oh
yeah.
Like there's something very satisfying about that formula.
Yeah, it's the element of surprise that we always talk about, like with the more generic like metalcore songs, whatever that we refer to, where it's like you can tell what's coming. That's when it's not interesting because it's like it feels like it's just formulaic because you're like, okay, here's the riser and then the drop, the call out. But like with boundaries, it's like structurally it's hard to even pay attention to where the song is because it's like we're going one way and there's screams and then there's like a chorus and then it goes into a sample and then it's like blast beats and then it does another sample and then it just drops you into a groove. So you're like, you're completely overstimulated that you're not prepared for that breakdown. But if that breakdown was to be like a very generic like riser to it, it's still cool. It's still the actual like groove itself was sick, but it's how you get there sometimes that really like makes it land, I think.
Yeah.
I think overall I prefer the last song, but this one was just mental. It's fun as fuck. Like it's a boundary song. They're very unique. The vocals are great. The chorus I didn't mind too much this time. I think I just really like honed in on how much I hated that one particular song, Easily Erased, in the like bridge section where it's like a cappella hymn, like, I'm like, shut up, please. Yeah, so I don't have beef with the drummer. He's fucking sick. Like doing that whilst drumming, I was only talking about this, Steve, you'd probably know better than anyone here, but like
he was doing double kicks in the
hand-eye
song
coordination to do that. Like drumming alone as someone who plays the guitar is like the most, like I'm like the coordination to do that and have so many limbs to like to worry about, and then singing in a song that's that chaotic as well when there's other things happening so chaotically around you is insane. So yeah.
The only way to do it I discovered, because I was a singing drummer in one of my bands, and the first gig we ever played, I fell the fuck apart because I was trying to focus on both of them at the same time. I just got lost. You have to get to the point where your limbs go on automatic. You know the beat, and they just do it, and you literally just concentrate on the vocals, and everything else is fine. Otherwise, you're fucked.
Yeah,
it's Hail the Sun is fucking wild for that. The drummer, who's also the vocalist, like it's crazy drum parts while he's singing. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, tricky.
Under Oath also actually is crazy for that too.
Yeah. I mean,
sick song.
My most anticipated conversation point that we're going to have today is the new Northlane song, which as of right now is technically not out yet. By the time you guys are watching this, it will be. We've all heard the song, I believe. We have.
Yeah.
And it's called Evian, which I believe isn't the water, as Steve pointed out in his video. Evian. Is it like is that a brand? Because it showed like Evian like recording equipment or something like that. I didn't really understand the reference, but
it's certainly a water brand. I don't know.
It is also a water brand, but I don't think that's what Northlane were referring to, unless it was some crazy branded song. But yeah, Northlane are back with, again, is it Buster Odahome and Jordan Fish? Speaking of Buster,
that was the photo we saw, right?
That was. I couldn't find credits anywhere, but I believe it's Buster. It's Buster O'Donnell mixing it for sure.
And Jordan Fish producing.
Which is a combination that would make many people very happy, but also very like, what the
Worried.
fuck? What are we doing? Like, you know, we had the conversation about Buster earlier. And again, people like take this sometimes as like a knock on these producers. It's not a knock on them. They're so good at what they do that everyone wants their sound, which eventually can get annoying when you love many bands and they all just start to have similar tendencies because they're all using the same guy. So yeah, song was actually really kind of confusing on my first listen, but the chorus of the song is one of my all-time favorite Northlane songs. All right, or choruses already. I think it's on Dante level. I've played it so many times already. It's kind of starting to annoy me now. And I've ruined it already. But it's been a while since I've had a song that I've loved so much. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had a song that I've loved so much that I've just like continuously rinsed it back to back. And I'm kind of like, I wish I didn't do that because now I'm already over it. But I haven't really spoke to you guys much about it. So what's the thoughts?
It's a good enough chorus that, having not heard it for a while, I can immediately remember it in my head now.
Yeah.
Like it's very good. And I could understand the Buster of it all in the heavy hits. But did that. It's so disorientating because there's a song by Biffy Clyro called Living's a Problem Because Everything Dies. And it's like, it'll do almost random sort of stabs where the whole band goes in on the same chord and hit. And it's got a little bit of that in first listen. You're like, okay, that's an on beat. That's an off. That's on then off. But they kind of shift it around. So it's a little disorientating, but it means that when they land back into a groove, it's like, oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
So good. Really liked it. And I liked that when it starts, it's so obvious they're leaning more into the EDM world. And like, yes, because that is a unique thing that they have. I want more of that to differentiate them perhaps and just have some different flavor from them. And I thought they balanced it really well against their heavy capabilities that they also have. I thought it was a fucking great song.
Yeah.
A journey I enjoyed.
Yeah. I like that they are working with Jordan Fish and Buster O'Donnell because like Northlane's been around forever. And like for them to evolve, like what else are they going to do? Are they just going to move away from electronics and do something else completely different, or like stay with electronics and work with some interesting producers? And they did. I think it's really cool. Like the fact that Jordan Fish is producing and Buster's mixing, I'm so stoked for that. I know it's like kind of a basic thing to do or like the thing to do, but like for Northlane, I think it makes sense. So I'm very excited for that sound. And then like the EDM stuff, I think is so cool because it also sounds like 90s EDM. Like there's a certain like style to that EDM that sounds a little bit more old school that they go for. It's not like that. I was going to say dubstep, but dubstep's like even 2010s. Like
it's like European trance music.
Yeah.
It's kind of like very trance. Like it's
nihilist blues-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking masterpiece, dude.
Yeah.
but this song, yeah, dude, I hear what you're saying, Drew, because you've rinsed the song so much. I've only listened to it once, and I remember like that was a little bit like a lot to take in. I need to listen to it again. I just haven't. So on my first listen, I thought it was a really, really sweet song. I liked it, but I'm not like in love with it yet. And it's because I just need to listen to it some more, dude.
It's the chorus. It's not even like the song. I was kind of like saying that the guitars almost feel obsolete in Northlane. They're there, but it's like almost doesn't even feel like there's a guitarist playing at this point because it's again Buster with like the way everything's synced up with the guitar notes landing with the snare and the kick drum every single time. It's just an explosion. Like it's just the way it's mixed. It sounds so abrasive that it's like there to serve the atmosphere of the song, and it's all built around that massive like soaring chorus. So yeah, first listen I was a little bit confused again. Like Steve was pointing out the I guess the drumming technicalities, which to my ear just would go over my head, but I can feel it's like a little bit like jarring to groove to in moments because it's very like like and you're like what, but the way they pulled it in with the chorus just makes it more sense. And over time I've gotten used to those like weird offset rhythms, and then it just lands. And yeah, Marcus absolutely fucking killed it. His vocals sound incredible. So they're one of those bands, every time they return with a new song, they're like remind me how much I fucking love them, because it's like they're an easy band I think sometimes to just not think about. I don't really think about them that often. They're like they have been one of my consistent like favorite bands just when they put out music, and they've done it again with this, and I'm like, yes, this is just fucking excellent. So I'm excited for whatever the fuck they got coming up next.
Yeah. And
the song's not even out. I'm talking about next. Yeah.
Yeah. Great stuff. Now, I remembered before we go on to our next topic here, If you're going to Download Festival and you're camping at it, on the Thursday, there'll be an official Metal Roundup big old meetup. We're doing a live podcast in District X. Do not miss it. Look out for more details about that very soon. Looking forward to that one. That's coming around pretty soon.
Yeah.
We're almost in May now, so it's a couple months. Less than that.
Yeah, a month and a bit.
I haven't even mentioned I'm moving to Portugal tomorrow. Probably should have just got that out of the way in the intro. So this will be the last time I'll be here for anyone watching.
He doesn't mean on the podcast.
Yeah, this will be the last time.
He's moving, so we're done with him.
Yeah, I'm just gone. Like, so yeah, that's happening as well. So that first, then Download. Can't wait. Yeah,
Exciting news, man.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, you okay?
Safe
How
travels.
you holding?
Yeah, thanks, man. We still have to talk about one thing though, and that is some rumored music that is seemingly very true. All right, we haven't got an official announcement, so take this with a pinch of salt. But Loathe have a new album that I believe is called A Stranger to You, which is scheduled to release on July 17th. And it's been like, I don't know the exact source of where this comes from, but Eric, the guitarist, did you see what Eric did on his Instagram, which was hilarious? He
posted the photo of the meme.
It was great. So he didn't, Steve, you're familiar with the meme, right? Where it's when you're in a Northlane or when you're in a never dropping music competition and your opponent is Loathe. Have you seen that meme?
I've heard it described. I'm not seeing
Yeah, well, basically, Eric, the guitarist of Loathe, who is the subject of said meme, just posted the original picture to that meme on his Instagram with no caption. So, you know, with all the rumors going around, everyone is now commenting on that photo with the exact same meme, which is great. So, yeah, it looks pretty like spot on that Loathe are finally going to drop an album. So, the hot topic or the hot take that we had, like 2 weeks ago, where Loathe's album won't live up to the hype, is going to be put under the tests. We're finally going to know if it is.
They've been teasing this for a while, right? Like a strangertoyou.com was a link that they've had for a while. I think it was like, I feel like it's been a few months, but like if you went on their website like weeks ago, there was a blurry image that just got less blurry over time. But now there's a leak on like a merch site where there was like merch and like the actual album. So it's a leak. That's why it's not official. But like the fact that Eric did post that photo of him is another sign. They have a new Instagram page called A Stranger to You. And like, so it's looking more and more official. And then they also have like the second song after A Gifted Every Strength, which came out last year. So the new song is called Revenant, which Steve and I have already heard actually. Because if it is that song, they already played it at Download. So I already have an idea of what it sounds like, but I'm going to reserve that until the song is officially released.
Okay. What do you think of the album artwork?
Album artwork's fine. It's not as cool looking as the last album, in my opinion, but whatever. The thing is, like, it depends on the music, and it looks like the album could be 14 songs, which I think is insane. And considering Gifted Every Strength, it's like 6 minutes long and more. Like, we're going to get something proggy and crazy here. I'm very, very stoked for that. But yeah, it's funny because like there's been so much Loathe glaze, and I know I'm part of that. Definitely
glaze.
Oh, dude, I get it, but like it's funny, like the band's gone like so popular that I'm seeing so much hate. Well, it's Twitter. Twitter's fucking lame for that, but like there's a lot of like hate, like, oh, mid band is about to release an album. Like, oh, it's cool to hate on Loathe now. I guess they're getting that popular or something.
Yeah. They have 1.7 million monthly listeners on Spotify. They're a fucking big band.
I know, isn't that wild?
I couldn't believe that I seen that.
Hang on. I think part of that, there's one like interlude in an album that's had like 1 billion streams. And I think apparently it was in some TikTok thing.
What?
So
is it Really You? I think is their most popular song still.
Sad Cartoon, is that the one? No, that's a full song.
It's all their shoegazy tracks that are popular. Screaming, which is awesome. Two-Way Mirror, Is It Really You? Sleep Token. Yeah, like Aggressive Babylon.
Yeah, I mean, all the just got consistently crazy amount of streams across the last album. Like that last album is fucking massive.
Yeah,
pretty insane. Like
again,
yeah, like Gifted Every Strength isn't like stream wise well, it's got 5.8 million streams. It's still pretty popular, but it's by no means even near their most popular. But I guess it's had less time as well. But yeah, 1.62 million monthly listeners is crazy.
I'm so excited to give that new album a solid. Like it's going to be. I just disappoint everyone. I really want to like it, but it's like, there's probably going to be some moments that I like. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's teed up for you to really enjoy it because you're going in with low expectations. Yeah, I'm somewhat on the fence. I think Burb's high expectations. I'm probably in the middle, and maybe you're low expectations, Steve. So we've got a nice balance here. It's going to be interesting with those.
I'm worried about my high expectations, though, dude. Even with the new song, Gifted Every Strength, I went into it just like, oh my God, new song. And then I listened to it. I'm like, this is really cool. But I didn't like love it. And then after some time, I kept going back to the song. I'm like, oh, I get it now. That's why I'm like with you, Drew. You're like, you're not crazy about the song. I'm like, it'll grow on you. Like that's what happened to me. But,
possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
The song titles are interesting. We have Entrance, Block of Flats. I'm interested to hear Block of Flats. Fortress Down, Gemini, Nothing Like the Knife, Harder to Pretend, Athena, Revenant, The Way It Breaks, Meet My Maker, Fangs, The Ladder, Gifted Every Strength, and No Stranger to You. Apparently, allegedly.
Would Athena be Athena, perhaps?
Athena, potentially. I'm trying to I'm doing like a sleep token thing where we try and guess. We try and predict which songs, but I don't know if
I need to watch that episode back now that I've heard the album. I haven't.
Oh yeah, I think people are saying we kind of got it. Like some people were saying that we nailed some of the.
We probably nailed Provider.
That's what I'm going to say. Provider, I think.
Yeah, that one was obvious. But yeah, what's Athena going to sound like?
It's going to sound like Athena.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. July 17th, so not even that far away. Assuming because they've only had one single, they'll probably singles will probably start rolling out pretty soon, I'd imagine. So excited, especially with 14 songs. It's going to be a couple singles.
Just fucking drop the album. Go. Good luck.
Well, with the leak now, that'd be kind of disappointing to just surprise drop on the date that everyone knows. Woo!
Well, maybe a surprise drop. Still, like people complain about hearing too many songs before the album's out. So we just go, well, fuck you.
Just doing one song last year and then just dropping the album 2 years later, or a year
just
later.
Just drew it up. Well, all part of the plan.
Yeah, that's. I think we got everything. I mean, is there any other singles that we haven't spoken about? It's been a while since we had this many new songs to talk about.
Not that are topical, but I don't know. Is there any new stuff that aren't on anyone else's radar is worth calling out?
Let me think.
I mentioned this a couple of episodes ago, but the song Nevermind by Hazel, I keep going back to. It's actually a really fucking good song.
Is that the topless dude that just screaming into the wild?
The song's so good.
I watched your reaction to it and I still didn't get it. Really? I was like, maybe I'll see something else in this, and I was just like, it's like it's full of energy, but just
But try it without the video, maybe.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna lie, I kept laughing the whole time. It's because Drew initially brought it up and like this dude is literally just screaming into the void topless.
Don't we all want to do that
dramatic.
sometimes?
It's very dramatic. But nothing too crazy on my radar in terms of. There's actually, Burb, I think you'd probably like this song. There's a band that someone who's been watching me for many years, shout out to Eric, he hyped me up and got into my DMs on Instagram. He's like, bro, one of my friends, he was like, one of my ex bands has this, and as soon as you hear like college, high school bands, you're like, bro, just save the spiel. This is going to be shit. Like, it's just, how many times have you heard like, oh, one of the high school bands, they've got a great song out, and it's like, okay, look, just send it to me on Twitch and we'll have a listen. There's a band called, it's I think pronounced When, but it's Oiun. Their debut song is called Afterglow, and it's fucking good. Like, it's really, really like proggy and weird. I think it's right up your alley, Burb. I was genuinely like expecting the worst thing ever, and I was genuinely shocked by it. I was like, this is fucking insane for a debut. So
what's it called? How do you spell the band name again?
It's called Afterglow, but remove the W in glow, so it's just like GLO. And then the band's name is When. It's Oiun is how you pronounce it. Really fucking like proggy, weird, progressive song. What? It's a real like proggy song. Genty elements in it, but I was just shocked by it. I was like, this is just, again, because the expectations were like so low, because the Eric dude was setting the bar so high. I was like, I need to lower this expectation very much so that's a band with literally 87 months of listeners if you're looking for something a little bit under the radar, for anyone who's watching. So other than that,
I checked out I listened to the Nebula song by Sunborn a little bit more. I'm like, this song's getting better and better the more I listen to it. So
I like the outro to it. The big epic crescendo with the acoustic guitar is sick.
Yeah, my least favorite part is actually the breakdown.
Yeah, it's that's what I mean. It's the it's like with the boundaries conversation that we had, when you just kind of like see it coming, it's like it kind of felt obvious in that moment. It was like, and it maybe not as obvious, just the breakdown itself. I'm not the biggest fan of those like black hole breakdowns where it's just like it's just musically, it's more cinematic, it's more like spectacle as opposed to musically interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
Other songs I want to shout out. Unpeople released a great song called Clouds. It's got everything you like from Unpeople in it. Nice heaviness in there, also catchy and fun. Wind Waker released another banger featuring an artist called Rin Rin. Really enjoyed that as well.
You know who dropped a sweet song actually have you guys ever seen the Design the Skyline? Do you know that it's like a meme where like this band from 15 years ago dropped a song and it's so lame and emo. Like they have like super straight hair and they're like, oh, it's like one of the cheesiest songs ever. They got famous for the wrong reasons. Okay. So they're like notorious for being such a cheesy like scene band. But they dropped a new song called Autumn's End, and it's still very over the top. But I actually liked it. There's a lot of sick riffs. Like, I don't recommend it as like a really good song. It's just so stupid, like in terms of how heavy it can be and how riffy it can be. I'm like, I actually just laugh when I listen to it, but I can't deny it. A lot of these riffs are fucking sick. Like, Steve, you would hate it, but I think you would laugh. Like, if you were to react to it, like, you would laugh.
Okay.
I love how it's usually like we're doing like shout outs to like lesser known bands or whatever. It's like, you guys are gonna fucking hate this band.
This is not good.
but I'm also saying, like, it's not like Design the Skyline is also a band that's hated on though.
Yeah.
And if you watch this old music video from 15 years ago, you'd get it. It's hilarious. Lone Wolf, who's watching this, request the old classic Design the Skyline song, please. It is great for the
Lord.
The lols.
Have you guys heard a band called Axty? AXTY?
Yeah, I've heard of them, yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think you might like this. Probably gym playlisty stuff. It's fucking like stupid heavy. We had a song called End This, I believe it was.
I've heard a couple of their songs.
It's heavier than I would normally go for, but I really enjoyed it. Like, it's stupid heavy, but I think it's quite well done.
Okay. Well, we've given the people a lot of...
one more. Pliny is dropping an album, and for the people who like instrumental prog rock, prog metal, the songs have been awesome.
I haven't heard.
Did you say ass?
I said pass.
I'm not interchangeable.
Listen, fucking incredible guitarist, objectively, like unbelievably so. I find it boring because it's just noodly, and it's I'm not in. I don't. Like
That's why I like Pliny. Because he's not all about the noodly.
I think I enjoyed the last album with all the animals on it. Was that the last album? No, that was Handmade Cities
that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
The new song Mandela, or I don't even know if it's that new. It's like 3 weeks old now, but like it was way more metal than I realized. I'm like, oh damn.
Wait a minute. Oh, Handmade Cities is an EP. That's what I'd heard. It's not an album technically. Okay. Yeah,
there's a lot of jazz influence with his playing.
Yeah, I'd be much the same as Steve. There's few instrumental guitarists that I really enjoy. I think Clayton King has been one in the past that I've really enjoyed. It's just so fucking heavy. Night Versus is obviously a band, but yeah, beyond that, I can't really. It has to be really special. Like either like technique wise, where Clayton King is just like doing the most ridiculous noises and shit. I'm like, whoa, I haven't heard that before.
Also, there's riffs. They're great riffs.
Yeah, or Night Versus where the riffs are good, but also they're just really melodic. And there's not many people that are pulling that off, in my opinion.
I hear you. With Pliny, it's great background music. Like, it's not anything that you have to listen to, but like, it's just, I think he makes really pretty music, which can get pretty metal at times too.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Well, there's plenty to digest there, folks. Lots of artists you can go check out. And let us know in the comments what you thought of the singles we were chatting about in there. I'd love to know your thoughts as well. Thanks for listening to this. I think, well, there'll be another episode in a week. Drew will be in a different land.
Yep.
We have an episode that's already recorded, so that's going to be confusing. But yes, we'll see you either way in a week for another one of these episodes. Thanks for joining.
Cheers, dudes.
Peace.